Welcome to On the Kerbs. I'm your host, Team Hours Daily. Joining me this week is racing driver Célia Martin. We caught up recently to chat about how she decided to get into motorsport, what it was like racing at the 2022 24 Hours of the Nürburgring, what name she'd give to a brand new cocktail, spoilers, it's quite good, and much more. So, without any further ado, let's just get straight into it, and I hope you enjoy our conversation. So, hi Celia, thanks for being here today. First of all, how are you?
Thank you, Timo. I'm very good. Very good. Just not home in the quite 2 days holiday, so I'm happy.
So I think after some of your racing recently, you've earned a holiday, so that's fair enough.
Yeah, it's been quite busy last weeks and still busy actually. So try to catch up some break when I can.
So first thing I like to ask everyone who comes on here, what first got you into motorsport?
What got me into motorsport? Well, actually, it's a long story. I will try to make it quite short, but I've been driving since I'm 10 years old, thanks to my father, who got at that time like a Jeep Wireless, this army car like they used in the past, and he got this one to do some off-road, and so this is how I started into driving it, and it was very cool, but not very fast, So I was like, okay. And actually in France, my family still lives nearby a racetrack, so I was going there from time to time and managed to get some opportunities to get into some cars, and I made very nice people there, very still mechanics and friends I still have now. And some of the people I met told me, "Oh, you get a talent. I mean, you have a good skill, so maybe you should try." And I was like, "Yeah." My family doesn't have any money, and also, that doesn't have any much contact as well into this world. So I was thinking, I just do my studies, concentrate on that, earning money, and then I will maybe put that into racing, like, just a gentlewoman driver, like I say. And then actually it didn't happen like this. I was working for the French racing team while I was finishing my studies, and found in love with the Nürburgring as well at the same time. And this is basically how it started. Like, I worked for that French team, so really got into motorsport, and then got the opportunity, or took the opportunity myself to do racing at the Nürburgring. So this is how it started, but it started quite late, or let's say very late comparing to the normal way. So quite different.
This racing team you're working for, what was the role that you were playing there?
So I was what we can call team manager, because I was handling very lot of things. So like, just the people, like mechanics, and just, I would say, the general administration of the company and the racing team, and also the relationships with the customer and the drivers if needed. And yeah, I was doing a little bit of everything actually. So yeah, taking care of hotels, taking care of fuel carts for the trucks, and like, they only can drive a certain amount of time, so where they're gonna rest. So quite a lot of logistics, quite a lot of contract stuff, administrative stuff, and everything, which luckily was fine because I studied law, and when you studied law at the beginning, you just go through everything, and also the boring stuff like accounting and stuff like this. So
you beat me to my next question there. I was going to ask what you were studying.
Yeah. This is what I've done. I wanted to study. I wanted to be a lawyer, but somehow I didn't feel like, nah, I'm not gonna do 5 years more. I just can't sit and learn stuff. So I choose private bus management. Yeah, exactly. It's not like completely, yeah, completely random. And no, actually, I turned out to choose for private wealth management because I thought, if I handle the money from the wealthy people, I'm sure I could be wealthy myself and then be able to raise and to choose what I want to do. But didn't work that way.
Well, I mean, I still think it's gone quite well for you, all things considered.
Yeah, at the end, it didn't work the way I expected, but it worked. It worked in a nice way, so I don't regret anything.
You were saying as well that you fell in love with the Nürburgring, and what was it about that track that you love so much?
It's just back in the time. So still living in France from Bordeaux. So Bordeaux from the Nürburgring is like 1,000+ kilometers away. And I was doing this back and forth for a long time. And each time was different. It's just the atmosphere there is so different. Like at the moment, I think you have like a perfect blue sky. Everything's cool. It's pretty warm. It's just so enjoyable, and you're just sharing this. Like it's difficult to describe. It's like something you really have to live, I think, because the atmosphere is something different. It's like you're lost in the forest and it's quiet, but at the same time, if you go on that track, it's so busy. It's a lot of people, a lot of cars, and people sharing the same passion. And before, like now it like all the cars are pretty fast and you don't find slow cars too much. But before, you still have I mean, in my case, it was an old, very small Kia diesel, Kia Ceed diesel, and I remember there is a picture of me and nearby a Ferrari. So these kind of things are becoming more and more rare. But that was what I fell in love, like the difference what you can have with people, but sharing the same passion. And this is and obviously then if I need to start talking about the layout and why it's specific, yeah, it's
That could be its
also
own
something that,
podcast.
yeah, exactly. It's something that's really unique as well, and people have to try it. And once they tried it, I think you love it, and sometimes you can be also scared of it. So that's pretty cool.
It's got that special something you can't put your finger on, and like you say, you just have to experience it to understand.
Yes, exactly, because yeah, something like very unique.
Then in 2018, you became a factory racing and test driver for Jaguar Land Rover, and you were following in the footsteps of Sabine Schmitz and Claudia Hurtgen. How did it feel to kind of continue their legacy?
I'm laughing because it's cool to be to have these names for sure nearby mine. But yeah, I don't intend to. Yeah, following, like you said, their steps is very good actually. And life is so funny sometimes because talking about Claudia Hürtgen, I've met her on a racetrack, like I think at the very beginning when I was just still coming back and forth. And then like last year, I just raced with her, and it
Wow.
was such a good race. We had so much fun. It wasn't an old classic BMW, but it was so nice. It's one of my best souvenirs in racing because we had no pressure. So just fantastic, and being able to race with her. And yeah, it's mega. And yes, so it's a big it's super funny. It's a nice achievement for myself, I think. So I'm really happy of that. Yes.
And then I suppose at some point we really should talk about this year, which you competed in the 24 hours of Nürburgring recently, finishing P3 in your class and P35 overall. Tell us about that entire experience.
This is actually, so this was my third 24-hour race, but the first one with all the fans, all the public coming back, and like not in Corona time, and that made a huge difference. Like talking about the atmosphere again, all the people like it was super exciting. It was kind of electric as well. You could feel it like all the weekend. You could feel the pressure as well. Like everyone wanted to do well. In our case, we were racing the BMW M4 GT4, like not the new one, but the old one. And it was quite important for BMW because it was the 50 years of the M. So quite a very nice challenge. We also had so bad luck for us during the season and the preparation of this race. So yeah, quite a lot of pressure. But once it started, it's just fantastic. And I've done the start. I was surprised that during the formation lap, actually, you could see marshals and fans on the racetrack. Like I'm supposed to warm up my tires, guys. What are you doing here? I didn't know. Nobody told me. So when I arrived there, I was like, what's going on? Is it normal? Like all the way through. So very, very cool, very interesting. I didn't get the goosebumps that time because I was already focused on my thing. So, but I did have them at the very last lap when everybody was really like, somehow it was like, last thing, everybody was standing up nearby the fences and cheering, and was super cool. And then I realized it was super cool. But in general, fantastic race. You can really feel the atmosphere. You have the lights by night, fireworks, the grill. You can smell it sometimes. So it's super cool. Something I definitely happy to do. Yeah.
So that last lap in particular seems very surreal for you there, with just not only because again sometimes it's an achievement in itself to finish a race that is that long. So to do that and then for you to be getting over that finish line, like, did you kind of have that pinch yourself moment?
Yeah, actually, exactly, because it was like, okay, it's not over yet. Everything can happen, but like you said, it's like we finally made it, and we made it without any problem, which was, I didn't believe that. Like you say,
That's
I
a
had to
miracle
pinch
in
myself,
itself.
like, yes, because we had so many problems, and we were not sure at all to and it just runs smoothly. It's just amazing, and finishing like that, and yeah, that was a very, very nice moment for me. It felt more, it's only P3, but it felt more like a P1, especially regarding, like I said, all the bad luck and the fact that the team was completely new and we managed to work together. So that's, for me, was the biggest achievement for that race. Yes.
I say it's remind you saying about the end there kind of reminds me of Le Mans '66. If you've seen that film, I'm thinking maybe they should make a film about this now.
Oh well, I don't know. That would be interesting to know who are the actors. But yeah, actually, I didn't know that. I mean, I've seen the movie, but I don't remember. So maybe I should watch it again.
It's a good excuse too. Good excuse.
Yes.
So aside from the racing, you're also an expert VIP host in the F1 paddock. First, how did that come about, and what made you want to do it?
Actually, it came out with it was I was at the time when I was doing the Jaguar Pacey Trophy, and one of my opponent, Stefan Ratinski, he was doing this as well, and he said, you could do this. They're still always looking for female drivers, and like, oh yeah, okay, why not? And this is how I got into the team. So quite early, actually, at the beginning, in 2019, so just before Corona. So I think I've done Germany, Austria, or not even, not Austria. Well, I've done a couple of ones. First one was Germany. I will remember, in Hockenheim. Was pretty cool, pretty nice experience.
It's a good race for it as well.
And since then, yeah, exactly. It was, and this is something which is very cool about Formula One, because when you see how chaotic it is on TV, sometimes when you're on site, poof, it's like even more. You can, again, it's all about atmosphere and what you feel. So I like to do this. I like to work for F1 in that specific thing, sharing our knowledge and passion with the people from the paddock club and the VIPs. Yes, very nice.
So as well, you've been around in motorsports a little while now. From the other drivers that you've seen and the talent coming up through the ranks, are there any other female drivers that you think people should keep an eye on?
Well, actually, that's a good question.
Aside from yourself, obviously.
Yeah. No, it's well, that's the thing. I'm very egoistic. I try to push myself first, but they are. I don't know. I mean, it's again. Mostly in Germany, and I'm around a lot of female drivers already. So for sure, I know some of them, but they are more or less all of them are more experienced than me. So it's quite a tricky question because yes, I'm older, but at the end, I'm less experienced than them. But one thing is sure, this path that I choose and I'm living, I would like to make it easier for the younger generation. So actually, now you say it, now it came to my mind for sure. It's Luna. She's in karting and she's already got the support for MG actually. And yeah, I think she's the one to follow. Let's see how it goes. But if there is one thing I've learned is you can't really tell if you don't measure yourself to the best ones. Because if the best example, in my opinion, was Juju. She's now in the W series, but before she was from Japan, and a lot of people talked about her like she's gonna be a super good talent. But if you see her like now in the W series, she's struggling a bit. So it's difficult to judge someone at the very beginning unless you with that person and you're really following and knowing. So, but this is something I would be interesting to do, and I'm starting to position myself and try to do to detect this kind of talent in people, a bit like the FIA is doing, trying to see that at my own level and trying to give them some advices and push them in the right direction.
So you kind of answered my next question a little bit there, because I was going to ask you what you think could be done to promote more inclusion and diversity of women in motorsport, but you kind of answered that in the sense of you just need more people to pay attention to these people coming along. And okay, it's good that they're getting to drive, but it needs people to take notice of them and to make sure that they keep getting those chances so that they can develop properly.
Yes, and this is exactly but this is the hardest, but I would like to say it's like in any business, if I may say. You get the support once you're succeeding or once you did the hardest part. Usually it's like that. For sure in sports, and because of the fact we don't have many women, this could be a little bit different. And this is complicated as well because, like I said, I'm trying as well to do my own way and promote myself, and it's a lot of time. So if you want to help and to look for these young drivers, you obviously need time as well, and this has a cost, obviously. So it's just trying to make the best out of it and finding the right balance, meeting people, and I think like I said, it's very new for me still, so I need to think a little bit more on how I can be more a role model in that way and try to help and give advices. So let's see.
Is there one racetrack then that you haven't been on yet that you'd love to race on?
There are many, and this is actually the specificity, because once I've raced with when I started, I raced with Jaguar, so it was only city track, something very different. unless you're doing Formula E. Now you don't find this kind of track, and mostly now I'm doing via Nrburgring and 24, so it's Nrburgring. So basically, I'm really looking forward to, it's not step out, but just do something else, or something in parallel. So for sure, any Grand Prix, Barcelona. Also, if I stay in endurance race, I would be thinking about Sebring, Bathurst, Le Mans, obviously, those kind of mythic races. But I'm not against sprint races as well. I still love them.
I'd say definitely more than one track on that list then.
Yes, definitely. I'm eager for more, for sure.
It's the right attitude for a racing driver, so I can support that.
I would like to just go, on another level. Like it's 3 times 24 and the Nrburgring. It's good. I know my level here. I just want to see where I am on the track. I want a different challenge now. That's it.
So it's always good to keep testing yourself and pushing the limits. So a few fun questions not related to motorsport to finish off. What do you like to do away from racing for fun?
For fun, mountain biking, like especially downhill and jumping and all kind of things. Even though I'm definitely not a professional, but I really like to do it. Horse riding, it's been ages I didn't went on a horse, but I love that. Yeah, and so otherwise enjoying time with my friends, very important.
Definitely. Hopefully you
Always
can do
fun.
At least 1 or 2 of those things in the next couple of days.
Mountain biking is fine. Friends, it will be next week.
Well, at least you get them in at some point.
Exactly.
What music do you sing along to in the shower?
So I'm not really singing when I'm listening music for the shower. I'm more dancing. So it's something more like with rhythm and kind of pop dance music in that case. But depends. I also can listen hip hop and R&B and same.
It depends on the mood.
Exactly. Yeah.
And last question: if you had to invent a cocktail, what would you call it?
That's a cocktail related to me or like in general?
Up to you.
Hold on, let me give me a little bit of time. I'll try to find a name. A troubleshooter. I think that would be the right name.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a cool name, and it's cool.
Yeah, you can. There's so many excuses you can use to drink that cocktail.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you today. I want to wish you best of luck with everything for the rest of 2022 and beyond. And yeah, thank you for being here.
Perfect. I thank you again very much for this, for the opportunity and just be able to talk about myself. No, thank you. It was fun. Yeah, thank you, and I wish you also a very nice day.
Thanks again to Célia for coming on to the Kerbs with me, and I want to wish her the best of luck again for the rest of 2022 and beyond. Join me again soon when I'll be chatting to another famous face from the world of motorsport. In the meantime, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and check out the other videos on the On the Kerbs YouTube channel. And listen to me talk about Formula 1, amongst other things, over the Undercut podcast, which is available wherever you listen to your podcasts. Away from YouTube, you can follow me over on Instagram at t.albers.daily.onthekerbs and read my various motorsport articles over on Is It Fast, Paddock Sorority, and Supercar Blondie. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next week for the next episode.